Checkmate, issue 6, Brian
Oh
Michael
boy.
Bendis and Alex Maleev. Take it away, Matt.
100%, I have to be honest that I read this as I was falling asleep, and I don't remember much of it because it did not stick with me. Um, but this is the final issue. I'm gonna pull it up here and kind of go through it. But where we last left the Checkmate, they were in they're in the basement of the Hall of Justice, and Leviathan was making their move, and Talia turns on the team. So she fights Manhunter, and gives her a run for her money before the rest of Checkmate help Manhunter out. But Talia gets taken away before they can actually defeat her. And the Mark Shaw is facing off against Demon Rose and Lois when Superman comes up, because Lois says, she whispers Smallville, and the Demon Rose, her brother, shoots at Mark Shaw. He gets injured and he gets teleported away, where he's bleeding pretty bad, but he's trying to convert. Shaw's still trying to convert Lois and her brother. He's like, "You don't understand. I'm trying to save the world." But Superman comes in and basically pulls Lois away, and you see Shaw teleports that his tech is kind of failing him, and Leviathan flips on him. So basically, they let him die of his wounds as his tech is going haywire. And then Checkmate decides that now they have to deal with Talia reforming Leviathan in the way that it was before, because whatever Shaw was going to do wasn't going to work by those methods. And it still feels like they have moles. So Superman goes up to the Leviathan base that has now been, basically abandoned by Talia and them. And basically only the Metropolis Guardian was the one that still believed in Shaw, and he's holding Shaw's body. And Superman, or not Superman, as Superman's talking to him, where he tells him, "Let me get him some help." What's his name? Man, the Colonel, Trevor. See, Trevor is basically running everything over. That Mark Shaw's dead, Markovia's fallen, everything's secure, or so they think. But Leviathan is evolving fast, and that Checkmate, in order to counter this, they need to basically be what Checkmate was before, which is on the outset of the government. Like, they're not run by the government. They need to be a checkmate on them. So Waller shows up, of course, and says that that she knows who King is, Mr. King. And are you ready for this? Right? My original theory was that it was, Brian of Markovia, Geoforce, wanting to get Markovia back under his control. And it's not. Waller reveals that King is Commandy. From the future, coming to stop whatever Leviathan had done. So out of nowhere, Bendis has decided that we're going to do time travel-y stuff, and that Commandy, for whatever reason, has left as he's a grown, and that he's come back. And I'm wondering if this ties into the Legion of Superhero stuff, that we're going to get some timey-wimey. And again, there's just another chapter in Bendis's, his ultimate story, I guess. And that, Waller is like, you saw some outlandish stuff in your time, so bad it made you drag your old ass back here. To do one last thing to save the world. And, that now Checkmate's going to directly answer to the Justice League. And that's good, because Arrow's kind of running all of this, and that Lois is no longer part of Checkmate. She has to be on the outside. And then it cuts over to Talia, and she's addressing the new Leviathan, and that, we're going to get back to what we were doing, because Shaw's weakness is that he was too soft. And that if Shaw was too soft, what is Talia going to reform them? So now that's what Checkmate's worried about. And that she takes them up to what looks like Nanda Parbat, but it could be another city up in the Himalayas, and that she's going to introduce all the people to the Lazarus Pits. And yeah, and then it ends with Superman wondering why Lois's brother looks just like their son, and that's weird. And he flies off, leaving Lois to look at him, or leaves with Lois, with Leonardo Lane looking at them at the Hall of Justice. Overall, I just wonder what the point of this whole thing was, because it was, Bendis built up Leviathan as his ultimate threat with Mark Shaw, only to throw him to the side, and now to do whatever, it kind of just reset. Like, he built up Leviathan just to reset them to be Talia's agency.
What got me as I was sort of half listening to what you were saying there, is that you started talking about Leviathan, and it just sort of felt weird. I was like, weren't we done with Leviathan like a year ago?
We were. And that's when this book was supposed to come out, and I don't know if the art got behind. The art is the strongest thing. I'm not digging Bendis's spy stuff, I guess. Like, sure, it might be a little bit closer to actual spy things, but the Checkmate I'm familiar with is like superhero spy agency, with Rucka playing kind of with world government stuff. And I just feel like this version of Checkmate is this group of heroes that have ties to intelligence and whatnot. And they're just kind of there. And I don't get what the point of bringing back Checkmate was if we're not kind of, even playing with that. Like, so we have Bones, who ran the DEO, who would be an ultimate fit to work with Waller, right? And they have that structure, it would seem, as Checkmate did. But this is just kind of like a series that had no purpose. Besides introducing Leonardo Lane, who's now showing up in Justice League. And I still don't understand what the whole Snowman's Ticket thing is. I'm sure there's going to be more revealed. I did catch up on Justice League, and somebody stole the Fortress of Solitude right from underneath Superman. That kind of ties into what they were trying to do here in Leviathan. But it just feels like them being out of sync is messing with the overall story. If this had come out before the Justice League had started, and we'd gotten to know, like, we had this whole mystery of the whole point of Lois's brother, and then got to, fully introduce to him in the pages of Justice League, I don't know if it would have landed better, but it certainly didn't in this direction. And just kind of sad, because I was so excited for Bendis to do things, and now it just kind of feels he's not, like in baseball, it's like he doesn't have his fastball anymore. And it's just kind of sad to see him struggling, I feel, to tell these coherent stories, where I just feel like Bendis, from what I've read in the past, he's a lot better at it. So I just don't know. I'm going to give this a 6.5, and that's mostly for the art. I'm thankful that it's over. Like, I got to this book and went, I have to read Checkmate. And it wasn't even that I couldn't finish. Like, I had to finish it. It was issue 6. So
that's always the sign. See, if you buy a bunch of books, you get a pile of books for your week, and if there's a book or two that you're looking at and going, oh god, I need to read this now, stop reading it. Like, you're done. Like, it's, I think it's a harsh lesson everyone who gets into reading comics on a monthly basis falls into.